All right, art criticism number 3. This one right here is by Kathrine Barton. It is called No Tan Design, and the date is, again, contemporary art. So the artist name here we can fill in is Kathrine Barton. The title is No Tan Design. And she is a contemporary artist. She's actually a student when she made this. Not one of my students, but a student nonetheless. Alright, go ahead and fill that out while I make those lovely little chimes stop, and you fill this in. Unpause me when you're ready. Alright, we are ready for the describe slide. This one, because it's a much more simple image, we're going to only list 3 things that we see in this artwork. So click over here, something I see. We could say root/vines. We could say circles. And we could say black and white design. Alright, go ahead and fill those in. Pause me when you're ready. We can move on to analyze together, and you can unpause the video. Alright, analyze. In our directions it says, in complete sentences, explain what types of shapes you see and where in the artwork you see them. You will also need to explain how contrast is used in this artwork. Use your vocab terms as always. Alright, so when we look at the shapes in here, what kind of shapes do we see? We talked about geometric shapes, organic shapes, and amorphous shapes. What shapes do we have? That's right, we have those circles that we looked at. Those are going to be geometric shapes. But these like sprawling out roots, those are going to be organic shapes. So we could say these circles are geometric shapes, but the roots/vines are organic shapes. And then now it asks you to talk about contrast. Well, we talked about contrast of color, contrast of value, contrast of shape, contrast of size, contrast of proximity, and contrast of texture. Which one of those 6 do we use in this artwork? That's right, it is contrast of value because it's a black and white design. So this work uses contrast of value because it is a black and white design. Ta-da! Alright, go ahead and pause me while you finish typing that in. Unpause me when you are ready, and we will move on to the interpret section. Alright, interpret it is. We scroll down here. It says, what do you think is happening or being represented in this picture? Why do you think so? Answer in complete sentences. So we talked about that they could kind of look like vines or roots. You have to kind of pick now, what do you think is happening? And then tell me what about this makes you think that. There's also these circles. What's going on with those? What is the viewpoint looking at this? Is it just a design? You have to come up with what your interpretation is. So I'm not going to fill in the sentence here, but you're going to fill it in on your slide. When you are done with that, you can unpause this, but for right now, pause me until you are ready to move on to judgment. Alright, last slide is judgment. We'll scroll down here. It says, is this a good painting? It's actually a scratchboard drawing, but pretend that's a painting, it's fine. So do you think this is good? Why or why not? What about this would be good? What about this is not good? You tell me what you think about this. It's your opinion, but you got to tell me why or why not as well to get all the points. When you're done with that, go ahead and submit it, and you are done with art criticism number 3.